how to understand perception and what it does. Okay, so perception is the meaning your mind gives to reality. Okay, let me say it again. Perception is the meaning that your mind gives to reality. Okay, it's how you interpret what you see. Okay, so okay, when you see something, right, there has to be some sort of understanding, some sort of judgment that takes place. This is that. And you assign it meaning. Okay, now with perception, your reticular activating system plays a big role. Okay, oh, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Sarah. Matthew, good morning. Thank you so much, Matthew. Good morning, Jay. Okay, so we have a chat going on this side, and we have 7 platforms that we're broadcasting on right now, and we're coming to you live on all of these platforms. So we'd like to say aloha from Hawaii. So your perception, your reticular activating system in your brainstem is very important. Okay, so why is this so important? Because it also helps you filter. Okay, because your perception is a filter. Okay, so your perception is a filter. I'm looking for my pen. I don't see it. I think it fell down. But anyway, okay. But your perception is a filter. Okay, it filters reality to you. So perception is reality filtered through beliefs. Okay, that's in your subconscious. Filtered through beliefs, emotions, past experiences, expectations, and then it finally dictates your personal experience or how you perceive things to be, how you understand things to be. Okay, so anyway, yeah, I'm still looking for my pen over here. I got it. Okay, here we go. All right, so yeah, always need a pen in my hand because you write affirmations. Okay, and this also helps your perception. Okay, so your perception. Okay, it's a filter. It's not reality itself. Okay, because there's a general reality, but you perceive it a little bit different than the other person. Okay, so your senses take in raw data. So raw data is the experience, it's the shared experience that you see, and it assigns it your own perception to you. What matters, what to ignore, what something means. And so this is why when you have a good public speaker, I've been teaching public speaking for 30 years. When you have a good public speaker will address the group, the collective, okay? However big or small the group is. But it will address the group in such a way to direct everyone's perception along the same lines so that everybody can come together in perception in that meeting or in that talk or in that, whatever they're having, right? So the decision is your decision of what something is perception. Okay, perception shapes what you notice. Okay, it shapes what you notice. You don't see everything. You see what your mind is tuned to. Okay, and the solfeggio frequencies. Did you want me to discuss solfeggio frequencies? We were talking about the voice yesterday. Yeah, I talk about that. Matthew, give me a second. Let me finish perceptions, and I'll discuss that a little bit. Okay, I'll give you some information. So your perception, let's say your perception is the world is full of opportunities. Okay, now this is a belief in your subconscious. It starts out as a belief in your subconscious. It has to. So how do you do it? Get your pen. I am so happy and grateful now that I have an abundance of opportunities. Thank you. Now, when you believe this in your subconscious, and it takes 2 weeks to create a shift, okay? Thank you. It takes 2 weeks to create a shift, and then it takes about 66 days to become a belief in your subconscious. Okay, 66 days. Can you write an affirmation for 66 days? I think if you want something bad enough, you can. I think if you want something that's important to you, you can form the belief in your subconscious because you will write it every day. Okay, I've seen people that, they want to lose weight. Okay, so you don't write an affirmation that says, I will not overeat. Okay, because the focus becomes overeat, because not is not observed, it's a negative. Okay, So good morning, I Cooper. Hi. It may help them clean up subconscious space for them to absorb. Yeah, we were talking about vocalization yesterday, Matthew. I'll be right there. Hang on. So what happens is you have to form the belief in your subconscious first. But when you do this, okay, I am so happy and grateful now that I have an abundance of opportunities. Okay, now that you do that and you start to believe that, let's say after 66 days of writing the affirmation, now it's a belief in your subconscious. Now what can you do? Or what happens now? Well, the reticular activating system in your brainstem understands that you are looking for opportunities, that you have an abundance of opportunities. So the filter becomes abundance in opportunities. What does that mean? The reticular activating system in your brainstem starts showing you opportunities. Okay, now for the person that thinks that nothing good happens to me, like, oh, I'm always the loser in things, all right? Nothing good happens, right? Now, if you're a pessimist, that's what a pessimist is. They look for the negative first. Okay, we talk about negativity bias. So every human being is programmed this way. The pessimist is the person who has leaned in towards this and has never changed it. So they look at everything negative. Okay, the optimist, of course, is the opposite of that. But now that you have a little bit of optimism, now that you have written this into your subconscious, guess what happens? The reticular activating system looks for opportunities. So the person who believes that opportunities always come, okay, or an abundance of opportunities, it will start to show them opportunities. And guess what? Opportunities are abundant. Why? Because the glass is always half full and half empty. It depends on how you believe in your subconscious. Okay, so manifestation is your subconscious. So people who let's say your belief is people can't be trusted. Okay, or let's say I always fail. You will always see reasons not to complete something. You will always see evidence of things failing. Okay, so this is just what happens. It's just the way human beings are designed. So how can you fix it? Well, first of all, do an affirmation. Okay, so let's say, you want opportunities. I am so happy and grateful now that I have an unlimited amount of opportunities. Thank you. Write it for 66 days. Okay, let me show you. So, people don't understand that you have to do this, or that successful people do this. Okay, so this is the one I'm working on now. I've only gone through this much. Okay, these are affirmations. They're not journaling. Okay, journaling is totally different, and you have to be careful when you journal, or you'll put the wrong things in your subconscious. Okay, these are affirmations. Okay, and they're all dated. Okay, there you go. Okay, so I do these every day. Okay, and I've been doing them for years and years and years. So what happens when you do it a lot, and the reason why I'm showing that to you is to inspire you so you can do it too, so you don't think it's so hard to do. It's one sentence. But the reason why you do it is to condition your subconscious. So when your subconscious is conditioned, these things happen faster. The reticular activating system is used more often, therefore it becomes sharper. Okay? Therefore, you see more opportunities, you get more opportunities. Okay? Then money comes. Okay, so all of these things work hand in hand. Opportunities, money, goal settings, and achievement, all of these things. So if you want to call it manifestation, okay, a lot of kids make it, like, oh, this is a magical thing. I manifested this today. I manifested that. It's not magic. It's your subconscious, okay? Everybody can. It's not everybody has activated their subconscious, though. Okay, now it's the same as blessings. Okay, you hear these people, they say, oh, I'm blessed, right? Or they write I'm blessed on social media, or I'm blessed this, I was blessed with this, blessed with that. And what they're really doing is they're making reference to something good that happened. Okay, so those people get more blessings. Why? Because they're writing it all the time. Okay, so when you see somebody and they always have these posts that they're making on social media, I'm blessed, I was blessed with this, blessed with that. What's the key word? Blessed. Okay, and in that context, blessings equal material things. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, it's when you put your trust in the material, then we get into the God and mammon discussion. Okay, because when you put your trust in material things, when you put your faith in material things, when you put your faith in a man-made system, now it's become mammon. You've turned that into mammon. So you cannot serve God and mammon. Okay, because you're not your body, you're not your name, you're that energy that lives in here. Okay, so keep it in perspective. Understand that you're a spiritual being and you have power, and your power is in here. Jesus Christ said the kingdom is within. Gautama Buddha said it, Krishna said it. Okay, these people all said it. They all acknowledged it. They said it in different ways. Okay, Jesus was the last one to say the kingdom is within. Okay, so anyway, so now let's pause and be less, yeah, it depends on the context, but I understand what you're saying. Words are spells, and yeah, you could mean it that way. But if the understanding is things come in and things get better, okay, then it's positive. If the understanding is be less, Mogali, if you understand that to be that will happen to you. Okay, so now let's go back to solfeggio tones. So Jay, can you post a comment so that I can get some context? So we're going to talk a little bit about solfeggio tones because it came up on the chat. So we have a chat going on here. We have 7 platforms. I have cameras all over the place. A camera back there, a camera over here, a camera up there. So we want to. Someone had a comment. Can you share online of your affirmation? Sure. What is the topic, Mugali? I'll give you an affirmation. What would you like to bring into your world? Okay, like better health, more money, you know. So if it's better health, you have to believe. Yeah, official example. So give me the topic. What is it? What would you like to bring into your life? And then you can health. Okay. So here's a affirmation for you. I am so happy and grateful now that I am. So that's 2 I ams. Very powerful. I am refers to the spirit in you, okay? Because you're a spiritual being. I am so happy and grateful now that I am in the best of health. Thank you. There you go. That's your affirmation. Okay. And these are the kinds of affirmations that I do. Okay. If you search me online, you'll see tons of things that I've done in my life and that kind of thing. And I'm not here to flex. I'm here to tell you you can do it too. Okay? And motivation comes from evidence. Okay? Best of health. Best of health. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Write that. Because your subconscious needs to believe that you're in the best of health, and then it will create circumstances towards it. Okay? That's how it works. Okay? So I was talking about, you know, solfeggio tones yesterday and the voice and how the voice can heal you. I've been doing this for 37 years. I've been healing people. Now, when we say heal, we're talking about like somatic healing. We're talking about healing in the sense that if you have anxiety, if you are, you know, suffering from worry all the time, okay, chronic overthinking, these things, okay, your voice can heal you in that sense. Okay, now, you know, there's people that make claims all over the place like, well, this cures cancer, this does this does that. You know, dis-ease, okay, disease is a dis-ease in the body. Now, somatic healing affects the body. It's healing the body. Okay, so part of what that, you know, entails with the voice is that the neurotransmitters in your brain start secreting oxytocin and endorphins. Okay, so endorphins calm. Endorphins are the feel-good hormone. Oxytocin are the bonding hormones. Okay, so you start to experience this calm after about maybe 2 sessions. Okay, so these are 1-hour sessions that we do. Okay, we do 1-hour sessions. We do straight tones. It may help them. Oh, okay, there we go. Thank you. Okay, so Matthew, yeah. Okay, I was just talking about that. So let me continue. I will get to that. So what happens is when you do the voice exercises that we have, okay, because I do this with professionals. I've created a half hour version for TikTok. I haven't created it for all our platforms, and we don't offer it on all of our platforms because I just don't have room in my calendar. So I don't have enough space. But we're gonna take platform by platform. So right now it's a TikTok thing, and then later on we'll offer it to YouTube and Facebook, and we have 2 Facebook accounts right now that are live. So anyway, we have 7 platforms. So let me just discuss the process. Okay, so first we have them produce tones with strength. Okay, and what this does is it clears them up in the mind. Now, doubt and fear are the only 2 things that work against manifestation. Doubt and fear. Doubt and fear, I'll say it again, are the only things that prevent you from getting what you want in life. If you doubt yourself, or if you doubt the process, or if you fear the process, or if you have some kind of limiting beliefs in here, because the roots are always fear. Okay? So all the negative emotions are rooted in fear. There's a little bit of fear involved. Okay? So once you get rid of those things, and the vocal process, the vocalization process gets rid of it. Okay? It gets rid of it. It pulls you into the moment. Okay, everything else is secondary at that point. It moves you away from overthinking. It moves you away from anxiety. It moves you away from chronic worrying. Okay, now these things become mental health issues. I've worked with a lot of people that go to professionals for help. Okay, I'm talking about therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, and one girl in 9 months, she got off her meds. Okay, now I'm not making medical claims. I have to say that for legal purposes. But several people that I've worked with have gotten off medicines. Okay, and they get off medicines for good. Okay, why? Because they have an understanding now of how to do this. Once you get cleared, once you do the vocalization process and get cleared, you're good. Okay, it never goes back. Why doesn't it go back? Well, there's such a thing as societal hypnosis that everyone is suffering from. You just don't know that you're suffering from it. You don't know that you've been led into this belief system. Okay, and there are many systems. There's the medical industrial complex, there's the political industrial complex, there's the military industrial complex, there's it goes on and on. Okay, but these are systems of things that have made impressions upon the human mind that has made up their thinking process, right? It's led you to believe something. A belief is a thought you keep thinking. If you want to change your beliefs or change the results in your life, okay, all you need to do is affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. Less than 15 minutes a day, and in 66 days, you're a brand new person. Brand new person. Now, some of the things that you change may not change in front of your friend group, okay? Because humans are chameleons. They change to fit the group, right? You use the same slangs, you act the same way, you believe in the same things, kind of, sort of, right? So when you change, what happens to your group, your friend group? Sometimes you don't feel like hanging out anymore. Sometimes you don't feel like joining anymore. When you join, you engage. When you engage, you join. Okay, but how does this vocalization process work? Well, you express long, straight tones. Okay, this starts to settle you inside because it fires the hormones. Okay, when the hormones are fired and you start getting clear, you become confident. We talk about confidence as the absence of negative emotions, the absence of fear, the absence of anxiety, the absence of guilt, the absence of shame. Okay, if those things are plaguing you, then you really need our vocalization process. Okay, but when we do this process, so now you're clear, right? So now what happens? And these are the solfeggio tones that Matthew's talking about. Okay, meds can help with it. Yeah, so medicines, just know that medicines treat symptoms. Okay, this treats the cause. Okay, the cause in here. Okay, anyway, so let's get back to the solfeggio tones. So the solfeggio tones are embedded in my practice that I do, in the musical scales that I do, that I have, the tones that I have people do. There are 3 solfeggio tones. Okay, so just a little bit about solfeggio tones. So what is solfeggio tones? Solfeggio tones, Solfeggio, I believe. Um, yeah, I'm in real time, so don't quote me. But solfeggio tones. These are sacred tones. These were the tones that made up the musical scale before the Rockefeller Foundation influenced the change in the music scale. Okay, why did he do that? Well, he did that because he had significant influence on medical schools. He had significant influence on big pharma. Okay, and what they did was they changed the musical scale from 432 to 440. Just a little bit of change, okay? But 442 was very conducive to the human body, to the human well being, okay? So if you listen to music by Mozart, he recorded in 432, okay? And then after him, they changed the scale, and now it's 440. Okay, so what difference does this make? Well, it keeps you just a little bit on edge. Okay, just a little bit on edge. It keeps you a little bit out of, let's say, ideal relaxation or ideal comfort or ideal being. Okay, and what this does is it keeps you a little bit, there's a little running current underneath that you don't even notice. Your subconscious notices, but you don't. Now, solfeggio tones, if you listen to, there's music out, there's tons of music out there now on YouTube. You can go to YouTube. We're on YouTube right now, live. Okay, but you can go on YouTube and you can look at 432. Thank you. You can look at 432 hertz music. Okay, you can go on YouTube. They've kind of got carried away with this. So there's 432, 528. Okay, those two I would recommend. Okay, but now they've gotten into 888 hertz. 888 hertz is not solfeggio, okay? But they put it out there because 888, right? It's an angel number. It's a good number. It's abundance times 3. 888. The number 8 represents abundance. Why? Because it goes in an infinite path like that, an infinite cycle. Okay? So the number 8 represents infinity. Okay. Yes. Yeah. It's important. It's important when you get bad thoughts, Mogali. It's important to say stop and then refocus to something else that's positive. Then you can guard your thoughts. If you guard your thoughts, you can just think the good thoughts, or let's say it another way. You can think about the things you want versus the things you don't want, and then those things will show up in your life, and you'll 432 hertz, 528 hertz. It's music. Go put that in on YouTube. Search that on YouTube. 532 music. Just put 432 music on in YouTube. You'll get it. Okay. But the first thing that doctors want to do, and I'm not here to demonize doctors, okay? Doctors are important. I take medicine for certain things. I have asthma. In fact, this morning it was kind of hard for me. I had to go back to sleep because the fog was very bad. In Hawaii, we have an active volcano. So we get that smoke from the volcano, that sulfur fog. Yeah, so anyway, but I go to the doctor for asthma. I get asthma medicine. I get inhalers, okay? So I'm not saying that doctors are bad. I'm saying that the first thing a doctor will do is give you medicine. If you go in and tell them you're suffering from anxiety, they'll go, okay, here, take this, you'll feel better. Okay, when they do that, they're not addressing the cause, they're addressing the symptoms. Okay, so we address the cause, the human mind. And the vocalization exercise pulls everyone out of it. If you want to see evidence of that, go to Here For You Life Coaching, Honolulu. We have, I think, over 51 5-star reviews. We don't get anything less than perfect reviews because I work with humans. Okay, and human beings respond like this. Okay, so go and check it out. It's Here For You Life Coaching, Honolulu, Hawaii. Yeah, search 432 music, and you'll see a whole bunch. Aloha, Lilo and Stitch residents. Yeah, they live here in the cartoons. Yeah. They say Hawaii follows that bird in the star. Yeah, they say all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of legends. There's all kinds of stories like that. Yeah. So anyway, so perception changes your body state. How does it do that? So we're going to go back to perception. We did a little bit for Matthew. Good morning, Rosanna. Good morning. Good morning. We did a little bit for Matthew, okay, on solfeggio tone. So that's what it does. And in our vocalization exercise, it calms people. We have a special for TikTok people, and we're going to talk about the special at the end of the hour. It's 7:27 right now. At 8 o'clock, we're going to discuss the special. Or you can just, if you're interested in what you've heard, thank you, Rosanna. Good morning. If you've liked what you heard so far, just go to the link and just click the link. The website is there. You can just come in and do a free session with me. So we do a free 15-minute introductory session where I explain everything. And if you want to do a month, we've created a half hour for our TikTok users. Okay, we're on 7 networks right now. So excuse me, you other guys. Excuse me for the TikTok people. We have a chat going here. You were tapping your nephew on the chest. Yeah. So be careful. Be careful what you try. Okay. Our method is rooted in physiology and psychology. Okay, it's not rooted in woo-woo or witchcraft or demonology or anything like that. Okay, there's none of that involved. It's your subconscious. You're a human being. You're a spiritual being in here. Okay, so perception changes your body state. Okay, perception isn't just mental, it's physical. Okay, why is that? Well, if you perceive something as safe, your body relaxes. If you perceive something as a threat, and this is why all humans have negativity bias, to protect us against threats, to identify the threat. Okay, so if that happens, right, your body kind of tightens, right? It kind of tightens up. Your breathing changes. Your breathing gets heavy, right? You start to go into fight or flight mode. This is the amygdala at work. Okay, after 6 seconds of something negative. Okay, it's that cortisol effect. Okay, cortisol is one of your hormones, and cortisol kicks in and floods your nervous system, your sympathetic nervous system, your parasympathetic nervous system, and then you take action, right? Fight or flight. You take action against whatever the threat is. Okay, so your nervous system responds to what you believe is happening, not just what's happening. Okay, so perception is important. Why? Because you could perceive something as a threat when maybe it's not a threat. So people that are walking around like this all the time, every day, walking around in fear, just know that their subconscious has memorized this pattern. Every time they see something, they switch to the negative. Every time they see something, they switch to the threat. Every time they see something, they think the worst possible thing. Okay, even when there's no threat. Okay, so perception controls confidence, tone, eye contact, social energy. How many people do you know that cannot make eye contact with people in person? Okay. Running late. What is the topic this morning? We're talking about perception this morning. Hi, user. Good morning. Good evening. Oh, Scotland. The listening seamstress. Oh, nice. Aloha to you in Scotland. So, and the reason, okay, so Jay brought that up. I'm glad she said that. So yeah, the reason why I skip around, okay, is so that you have a better understanding of manifestation. The things that I talk about all concern manifestation, how to bring better things in your life, how to do things. It's all subconscious, okay? It's not magic. It's not witchcraft. It's not voodoo, okay? So today we're talking a little bit about perception today, okay? And the reason why we're talking about perception is because you're going to need to understand perception, okay? When you look at things, when you judge things, because some people, like I said, humans have negativity bias. We're born with it. We're hardwired with it. We tend to look at everything negative first and then sort it out. Okay, now the optimist, a person who is optimistic, looks at something objectively and goes, maybe there's some good stuff here. What's the good side? Okay? The pessimist will look at a situation and go, all right, what's the threat? What's the bad part, right? And when you look for things, you'll find it. Why? Because the glass is always half empty and half full. It depends on how you look at it, how you see it. And how you see it depends on your beliefs in your subconscious. It depends on what you believe. How do you believe about things, right? And you don't know how you believe until something happens. And when something happens, you place judgment on it. Okay, so the vocalization process helps because it pulls you out of this societal hypnosis so that when something happens, you can be objectionable. You can look at something and go, oh, okay, wait, let me not judge this, right? Let's not judge this. Let's see what it really is. Let's look for the good part. When you pause like that and you look for the good part will emerge, okay? Why? Because everything has a good part. Everything, okay? I don't care what it is. Everything has a good part, okay? It's the yin and the yang, the light and the dark, the good and the bad, okay? It's that constant dichotomy of sorts that we have in the world, okay? Perception doesn't erase physical reality, okay? So if you see something, your perception is not going to get rid of it. That's not what it does. It doesn't mean, I can fly so gravity stops. It doesn't mean that. It means I interpret situations in ways that either empower me or limit me, okay? We can say it another way. We can interpret things in abundance or in lack. Abundance empowers people. Lack disempowers people. Okay, lack takes away your power. It's that light and dark. The dark will take away your power. Okay, and you need one with the other. Okay, everybody always says that until my eyes open, when we judge someone else is judging us 10 times plus. It's not 10 times plus. But it does judge you. You do judge yourself when you judge others, but it's through your subconscious. Okay? So when you place judgment, let's talk a little bit about that because I discuss that all the time. When you judge something, your subconscious does not know if you're judging someone else or if you're judging yourself. And what are the effects of that? Well, when you start judging others, okay, and you can be thinking, it's not just orally. It's not just words, okay? But you can be thinking things. Judgment, okay? I'm talking about judgment. When you do that, what does your subconscious do? Your subconscious goes, oh, we're doing judgment? Okay. And then your subconscious runs with it, okay? Takes the ball and runs with it after you do it a few times. And you become judgmental. And some people wonder, like, why am I so judgmental? Okay, but it's subconscious. It's below your conscious level of activity in your mind. You don't even know it's going on. You just know you have this propensity to, or this habit of judging people. Okay? So what happens? Well, you start feeling bad. You start having low self-esteem, right? Because you're clinging to the dark side, to the empty side, to the void, to the lack instead of abundance. In the abundance side, when you look at something and you go, oh, this is that, right? You're placing judgment on it. In abundance, or let's say that side of it, you observe. You become the observer. You look at it. You go, I wonder what that is. You see? And this is where the negativity bias in the human being plays in, because we're hardwired for negativity bias. Okay, so we pull negativity first. We go negativity first. It's always negative first. Why is that? Well, because it's evolutionary. We need to be around, right? We need to protect the species. It's about species. It's not about anything else. Okay, in the animal kingdom with horses, when one horse sees something in the bushes and it spooks, all the other horses around the area will spook. Okay, because horses are hardwired that way. Humans are hardwired for negativity bias. Okay, so it's a thing, right? So now we're gonna look at why perception feels like manifestation. Okay, because sometimes sometimes that happens, right? So you kind of look at stuff and you go, oh, is this manifesting based upon what I see? Okay, so perception changes, but it's not necessarily that you bring these things into your world. Okay, when perception changes, you notice more opportunities, feel braver. Okay, so okay, these things. So if you see things in the positive, you stay consistent longer. Okay, it starts to affect your subconscious. Okay, you connect with better people, recover faster from setbacks. So everybody has setbacks, guarantee. I have setbacks every week. Okay, if you don't have failures every week, you're not succeeding. You're not getting ahead in life. You have to fail to succeed. It's important. Failure is important. So if you fail with something, don't dwell in it. If you dwell in it, guess what happens? It goes into your subconscious. Okay? Your subconscious starts going, "Oh, failure. That's what we're doing, failure?" Because you're applying emotion to it. Okay? When you apply attention with emotion, it becomes manifestation. Excuse me. So, when you start manifesting things, in other words, when you start dwelling on the failure and then negative things show up, bad things show up, and then you have one thing after the other thing after the other thing. Have you ever been on a negative spiral in the morning? Let's say your alarm doesn't go off, okay? So you're rushing, right? In that rush, right? You rush to the bathroom, brush your teeth, rush to the kitchen, grab something to eat, rush outside, get in the car. On the way you stumble, on the way you hit the red lights, on the way you become even later, right? We call that a negative spiral. Why are you on this negative spiral? Because it's energetic. You are that spirit in here. Okay? Everything in the universe is energy. And now when you're pushing, and it comes from something negative, right? Like your alarm didn't go off, so now you're panicking. You're putting that energy into your subconscious. So the subconscious looks for other things that could go wrong. And pretty soon you get all the red lights and okay. When that happens to you, pull over to the side of the road. When you notice these things, now you have to have a greater sense of awareness to even notice these things. But that's what the vocalization exercise does for people. It enhances, okay? And the reason why it enhances your awareness is because awareness is enhanced automatically when you take the rubbish out. Okay? When you get rid of the anxiety, the guilt, the fear, the shame, all of that, and it starts to go as people progress with the vocalization exercise. Then your awareness is like 100%. Then you're aware of all kinds of stuff. Okay? But when this happens and you're on this negativity or negative roll or negative spiral, whatever you want to call it, okay? Pull over to the side of the road, wait for 5 minutes, okay? Take a time out. You need a vibrational timeout, okay? And then continue with your journey to work. Now, you're going to be 5 more minutes late, okay? That's the bad news. The good news is you're not going to encounter all of these red lights. You're not going to encounter more negativity, more negative things happening, more bad stuff happening. Why? Because you've stopped the vibration. Okay, this is a real thing, so try it. The worst thing you can do if your alarm doesn't go off in the morning is rush. Okay, don't rush, because in the long run, you're going to waste more time. Okay, you're going to cause more negative things in the long run if you rush. Okay, so the simple truth about perception is it's not reality itself. Okay, it doesn't create reality. Okay, perception is the lens that turns reality into your personal experience of reality. Okay, if you change the lens, or let's say the way you look at things, okay, there's an old expression that says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Okay, and it changes the outcomes that you create, because you're creating your own outcomes. People don't understand that. People don't understand that their attitude towards something, okay, which is your paradigm, the way you see the world, okay, gives birth to the fruits. Okay, so let's take a look at the tree. Let's take a look at the subconscious tree. The roots are your core beliefs, okay, what you believe to be true. the trunk of the tree, okay, is your paradigm. Okay, paradigm just means the way you see the world. Okay, your understanding of the world, your attitude towards the world based upon what you believe. Okay, and then the fruits of the tree. The fruits of the tree are the actions that you initiate, the way you act, based upon the way you see things, which is based upon your core beliefs, what you believe to be true. And those fruits have results. Okay? So if you search me in AI or Google or whatever, whatever, search my name in there, you'll see all this stuff. And you go, wow, how did Uncle do all this stuff? Okay, it's because I've had this training. Okay, it's because I had to research a lot of it. I had to do my own research. Because people only give you half, because they want to sell you a package, because they want to sell you a course, because they want to sell you something. So they leave out a lot of information. So every morning I try to be a little bit more thorough in my explanation, in breaking things down so everybody can understand that you have the power in here. And everything is mental, spiritual, and physical. Okay, so the mental part is you have to think about the things you want versus the things you don't want. Think about what you want to achieve, not what could go wrong. Okay? Now, the spiritual part, mental, spiritual, physical. Okay, what's the spiritual part? The spiritual part is you're not your body, you're not your name, you're that energy that lives in here. Okay? Jesus Christ said the kingdom is within. Okay, the kingdom is not out here. God is not out here. God is in here. You are a co-creator with God. You can create anything. I've created so many things. Every time I wanted something, right? If I didn't get cooperation from other human beings, which I got discriminated like so much, okay? And most of it, truth be told, most of it was professional jealousy. Because when you work with people in a work environment, in a corporation, in a group, okay, there's competition. And if you work in a very competitive business or a very competitive environment, it's compete, compete, compete. And sometimes people do some really crappy things to you. Okay, so I had to survive all of that. So what did I do? I didn't rely on these guys out here. I relied on God in here. Okay? And my job was, I had various things that I did. I subcontracted with companies. I have a consulting company that we did business for companies. We brought solutions for pretty large companies. We did all of that, and it's all online. You can search me up, and you'll see all of that. Our consultant company is VMAC Consultants. But the point being that if you don't get cooperation from people out here, let's say you want a raise, and your boss doesn't give it to you or ignores you or whatever, okay, whatever the case may be, go in here and do it. Okay, start writing. I am so happy and grateful now that I have my raise. Thank you. And be specific. Now that I have my $1,500 raise, thank you. Or whatever it is. Start in here, okay? Because your subconscious will start creating actions towards the goal that it believes it's seeking. And you need to tell your subconscious. Your subconscious is the culmination of all of your all of your senses. Everything you talk, everything. We are made up of God's source. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, Johnny. I just said that. Thank you. And so everything that you see, everything you touch, everything you smell, everything you say, everything you think, your subconscious has a record of all of it. And when you employ this power, okay, because I know spiritual people that are broke. They don't have any money. And I'm like, wait a minute, if you're spiritual and if you understand the kingdom within, if you understand, like Johnny said, that you're made of God's source, then why are you broke? There's no excuse. No excuse. But here's where people go wrong. Here's where spiritual people go wrong. They are too hypnotized with the physical world. Okay? because the physical world, when it distracts you into the physical world, you put your belief in the physical. You put your belief in the stock market. You put your belief in the financial system. You put your belief in the real estate system, in the real estate industrial complex. You put your belief out here in physical things. And this is where you get the spiritual versus physical. When you get distracted into believing in the physical, away from the spiritual, keep in mind you cannot serve two masters, okay? Then you will love one and hate the other one. Okay, it's not that you will hate the spirit. It's not that you will hate God. It's not that you will do. It's that you will worship the system. Because now the system gives you money. The system gives you jobs. The system gives you a degree. The system gives you an education. The system. Okay? You need to take that belief away. And you need to start with the kingdom within. And then guess what? Everything comes. Everything comes. Money comes. Opportunity comes. People go, well, I can't change my situation. Oh yeah, you can. You have to be brave enough. You have to trust enough. But you can't trust in the system and then change from the system. Okay? You have to trust in here. So this is why in the Bible, okay, I'm not pushing Christianity or the Bible, but this is what I know. Okay, in the Bible, Jesus Christ says, seek first the kingdom. Okay, the kingdom is within. Seek first the kingdom and all else will be added unto you. And all it means is when you understand that you're a spirit, when you understand that you have this direct link to God because God is in here, everything comes. Everything comes. And that's what you have to trust in. That's what you have to have faith in. And that's what you have to believe in. Now, if you don't believe in, let's say you're not a Christian, okay? Let's say you believe in source energy. Okay, believe in that. Believe in source. Okay, like Johnny, believe in source. Okay, we have a chat on this side. So believe in source. Whether you call it God or source or universe, or people say universe a lot because they don't want to offend people who believe in God. Okay, so you'll see a lot of thought leaders in books, they'll refer to the universe. They're really talking about God. But they don't want to say God because the word God offends some people. Okay, religion has done a lot of offensive things to people. Okay, and I'm talking about like when you study history and you read about the Inquisitions and you see all that stuff. Okay, so a lot of killing has been done in the name of God. Okay, which is terrible. It's terrible. Okay, so anyway, whatever you believe in, Jesus Christ, Allah, God, however you say it, universe, we're all the same in here. Okay, we are all one awareness. Everything we do affects others. Okay, it affects you in your immediate relations, with the people in your circle, with the people around you, with the people related to you, with the people that live with you, with the people that work with you. And it goes to a larger level because your three levels of awareness within, in the kingdom, in here, conscious, subconscious, superconscious. The conscious mind only is responsible for 5% of your life. What does that mean? That means most people walk around sleeping because everything's automatic in their subconscious. Okay, you need to take charge of your subconscious. How do you do that? Well, everything's still going to be automatic, okay, but you need to write. Okay, I am so happy and grateful now that I am confident. Thank you. I am so happy and grateful now that I have a brand new car. Thank you. When your subconscious believes it without contradictory thought of doubt or fear, then your subconscious starts to create avenues towards it. Now, some people call this breaking the spell. Oh, I used to believe, like me, I had to break the spell. It's not really a spell. It's not like a magic spell or a witch's spell or anything. But it's a belief spell in your subconscious. Okay? Because my parents always told me, well, you have to buy a good used car. But they started breaking down after 60,000 miles. Okay? So I finally had the guts to go into a new car dealership. I didn't know what was what. I didn't even know my credit score. I just believed. Okay, but I didn't believe in the car dealership. I didn't believe in the bank that financed the loan. I didn't believe in the right in the economy. The economy was tanking. The stock market was in 2007, and the stock market just started crashing, and it crashed in 2008. The good news, I got a 1% interest rate, or I think it was 2% interest rate, you know. And did the money come to support it? Oh, heck yeah. Why? Because I believed in here. Okay, and that's believing in God. I know a lot of people that say they believe in God, they praise the Lord, they go to church, they do all of that. They have no belief in themselves. So if you believe in God, then you believe in you. Okay, God first, then you, then everyone else. Okay, but when I had the guts to drive in the new car dealership and I said, okay, God, please just guide me. This was in 2007, right? And there was a whole process that took place. It took like 5 hours to complete the whole process, and it was spooky. It was spooky back then because I'm like, oh, I'm violating everything my parents ever told me. I felt like a traitor. Oh my goodness, I'm stupid, right? Because they always said, well, you're stupid if you buy a new car. You drive it off the lot, it depreciates, how many ever thousand, whatever, okay? But I had to break free of that kind of thinking, that mindset, okay? Everything is mindset. Everything has a mindset. But when I did that, what happened? I broke free. I broke free of the mental conditioning. And what happened? What's the result? Since 2007 until now, I've only had new car smell. Why is that? Well, now I lease cars, right? But the first 3 cars I bought. And then I traded it in and whatever. And then, every 3 years, brand new car. So brand new car smell. I just ordered another one. It'll be here in April. But you can't have fear. You can't be afraid that you're going to lose money. You can't be afraid that you can't pay for the car payments. Okay, God brings everything. God brings everything. Or if you believe in Source, Source brings everything. If you believe in Jesus Christ brings everything. If you believe in Universe brings everything. You're the same awareness. Everyone is the same in here. We're all awareness, okay? And we're all connected. So there's the conscious, okay, 5% of your thinking. It picks the topic. It says new car. Subconscious, when the subconscious believes that you're after the new car, it will create pathways towards the new car. The superconscious, what is that? That's God. Okay, that's where God fits in the superconscious category. What does that do? The superconscious brings the right people, right? Opens the doors as you take the steps. And you just need to take baby steps. You don't have to do anything big. Baby steps. And then you meet somebody, and then pretty soon you have a conversation. Oh, where do you work? Oh, I work at that car lot down by the airport. Oh, really? Yeah, come down, check out the cars. One day you think about it. One day you go down, you test drive the car, you come home with a new car. Okay. It's not that simple. It's not that easy. That's the short version. Okay, it's not easy because in your mind, you're going to be thinking, oh man, well, what if I do this? I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. What if I screw this up? What if I don't? What if? That's your amygdala. Your amygdala, after 6 seconds of a negative thought, will start giving you all the negative what ifs. What if the economy crashes? I did my first brand new car, I did in the middle of the economy crashing, 2007. Right after that, in 2008, the stock market tanked. But while I was in there, the stock market was on its way down. It was on its way down. But I had to trust. I had to trust in God. Okay, so, when people tell me that they believe in God, they go to church, they do all these things. These are all the physical world things, okay? There's man-made and God-made. Church is man-made, okay? But they do all the man-made stuff, but they have no faith in the kingdom within. They're not operating from the kingdom within because the things that they tell me reflect the physical world, the physical things. And I'm like, no, you can't do it that way. And they look at me like I'm crazy. If you go on my Facebook account, there's folders, there's picture folders with all my brand new cars, one after the other, boom, 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 boom. I didn't put it up to flex. I've been teaching this I've been teaching this for 37 years. And some people get it, right? And the ones that get it, they always connect back. Oh, uncle, guess what? Guess what I'm doing now? And I'm like, what? Oh, I'm the manager of this department. Oh, uncle, guess what? What? I'm the CEO of this group. I'm like, wow. My students come back and tell me, because I opened their minds when they're young, when they're teenagers. Now I have those people that were teenagers back in the day come back to me and, wow, uncle, I did this, I did that, I did that. I do this, I do this, I do that. Because they understand the process of manifestation in your subconscious. Okay? We start with the vocalization process that clears everything. It clears your thinking. Okay? If you've been conditioned to believe certain things like that, okay, it allows you to be more open. Because when you are conditioned into a belief or a system of beliefs, you tend to be more like this than like this. This means, okay, let's see what's going to happen. This means, well, yeah, I'm not going to trust that because, whatever. That's a fearful thought. That's rooted in fear, okay? People that overthinking, anxiety, guilt, shame, all of that. These are fear responses in the brain. This is your amygdala going, hey, what if this, what if that, what if this, what if that, what if this, what if that? And all those things are negative. They're all bad stuff. And people go on negative spirals all the time. So when you get a negative thought, just say stop and switch your thinking to something positive. Okay, so it has to be something you love or someone you love. Focus on the people you love and the things you love. Not what you don't love, not what you don't like, not what not what you fear. Oh, I hope a war doesn't happen. Oh, I hope this doesn't happen. I hope that doesn't happen. You see? Then those things start becoming attracted to you. Why? Because it's the topic in the conscious mind. The conscious mind picks the topic, war. Oh, I hope war doesn't happen. Oh, it looks like we're going to get in a war. Oh man, there's a war going on. War, everything becomes war. The focus is war. Okay, good luck with that. Good luck sleeping with that. Okay, because you're going to check your phone all the time to see, did the war start yet? You're going to be checking your phone. Oh, did this happen yet? You see? So that's just an example, okay? That's just an example. But this is what we cure people from. This is what we take away from the human mind, okay? The anxiety, the negative vibrations, okay? The negative emotions. Your voice takes it away, okay? We do the same thing in the life coaching as we do in the voice school. But in the voice school, we just give them one pillar. We just give them vocalization, okay? In the life coaching side, it's a little bit more applied to success in life. So it's affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. So I hope you like our presentation this morning on perception. If you have any questions on any platform, wherever you are, you can write to me, okay? And you can ask me questions. I answer all my emails. Eventually, I have a lot of them. People write to me every day. But you can write to me at junior@hereforyoulifecoaching.com. Check out the website. There's the medical research links to everything that I talk about, okay? Medical research by doctors, by people in medical schools, things like that. Medical school studies on everything that I talk about. So you can learn a lot by going to the website for free and just clicking the links and just reading up on it and studying it, okay? Because you can change the circumstances in your life very, very easily, okay? All it takes is a decision by the conscious mind. That's all. And then the rest is repetition. Okay, we'll see you guys tomorrow at 7 a.m. We do 7 at 7, 7 days a week at 7 a.m. on 7 platforms.